Yo, what up, niggas? It's your buddy Philko here reporting live from Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine. Now, the image you see in front of you is an article that some girl in Russia wrote about me. I told you guys the story about this little girl. She's a sweet girl, but now that you see her image, I don't want to embarrass her by telling the story again, but she's very nice and the article is very nice, so if you read Russian, you can read it. If not, it's not really that important. She's just saying a bunch of nice things about me and my classes. But let's get to what I want to talk about today. While this image is just there, because I need an image, and I'm ugly anyway, you're not missing out on much. I want to talk about people with fake professions. Like, a lot of people do this, and I had some friends who did this, as we were adults. They didn't really do this as we were coming up, but this is more like as you're an adult, you're trying to seem cool or you're trying to seem relevant and shit. What this basically is like people who don't really have jobs, or maybe they have jobs they don't really want people to know about very much, and someone to ask them, what do you do? They tend to kind of replace what they actually do for a living with one of their hobbies. So let's say, I had a friend who would sometimes write lyrics. He would write lyrics sometimes. I mean, not sell it to anyone really, just write for himself. But he worked at Subway. And sometimes we'll meet girls or whatever, and they'll be like, hey, what do you do for a living, whatever? He's like, oh, I'm a writer. I had a friend who drew pictures. He'd draw pictures sometimes for himself, probably post them on the internet, but he never really sold anything. He doesn't make a living with it, but he works somewhere else. And when some people ask him, what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm an artist. I this, that, this and that, this and that. I kept quiet about those things most of the times, but when I was drinking, it was hard for me to keep my mouth closed. And I remember me a few times just kind of opening up and just saying, yo, not in front of the girl, but after the girl leave, I'd say shit like, dude, why are you making shit up? Just because you draw fucking pictures doesn't make you an artist. Just because you write lyrics doesn't make you a fucking writer. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So I read books. Am I a reader? As for a living? Is that my profession? I didn't consider myself a skateboarder, a real skateboarder, until I reached a certain criteria. And getting paid for it was one of them. So once I started getting paid for skateboarding, like in movies and stuff, I said, I'm a skateboarder. I never considered myself an actor until I joined the Screen Actors Guild. So even though I was doing 95% extra work, like background and stuff like that, stand-in and photo double work, even though I never really got lines the first 3 years of acting, I was still an actor by profession. I do my taxes. So I'm a professional actor. That's what keeps me alive. That's what gets me my food, is working for Hollywood. That's what I used to do. You know what I mean? And now I officially consider myself a YouTuber now because I'm a verified YouTuber. You go to my channel, you see YouTube verifies this channel. Verified YouTuber. You know what I mean? So I just want to make this video saying things like, some people kind of exaggerate a hobby and try to say to do it for a living. This where your hobby is at, when your hobby is actually something you do for a living, is when it helps to make ends meet, bro. And you make enough money from it, you basically have to report it on your taxes. If you write lyrics but it has nothing to do with your taxes, you're not a writer. If you draw pictures and it has nothing to do with your taxes, you're not an artist. You know what I mean? So when you do your taxes as like people like me who are really independent, and I really do things in which, they don't take taxes out, we got to pay taxes every year. We don't get money back like you people with regular jobs. We have to give money to the government. We don't get shit back, I repeat. We're giving money. You understand? So if you are really an artist, or you're really a writer, like a freelancer for real, you're paying money every year. So those motherfuckers who say, oh yeah, I'm an artist, I do this and that independent, I'm like, yeah, do you pay taxes every fucking year? Yeah, that's what I thought. You don't. You get money back because you really work at motherfucking wherever the fuck you work. Now, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying, you're not about that life unless you're willing to pay thousands of dollars every year to the government. You feel me? So I guess I take that a little personally. But when I was an actor, and I learned a lot about doing taxes and shit when I was an actor, because you know what? The majority of the jobs you get while acting, like doing movies and stuff, they take taxes out already. You know what I mean? They take taxes out. But when you're an actor, you get a lot of side jobs. People see you on a set. It's like, oh, I like this. Do this modeling for me. Or you may have to do this side commercial. You do it. And some of those, you get 1099 miscellaneouses on your taxes. You get 1099 miscellaneous. And what that means is you have to pay taxes on those. I didn't know that at first. Good thing I figured it out myself. But When you get one of those, when you look at that check, let's say that check is 1,000. Don't look at it as 1,000. Get like a side bank account. You take 800, put 200 out aside, get ready to give it to the government. I know that's a pretty high number, 200, but just to be safe, you know what I mean? Those 1099 miscellaneouses can really fuck you over. Trust me. Make sure when you get paid, if you don't see taxes taken out, put a fifth of that money away for taxes. Do it. I'm gonna start to do that on my next YouTube. I'm gonna just, every time I get paid by YouTube, I'm gonna take 20% of that, put it aside for taxes. You know what I mean? It's really, really a good practice when you're really a freelancer. You know what I mean? Because even, I don't know if you guys know, but I've said it before, even when you're overseas, you gotta pay taxes worldwide to America. Doesn't matter where you make money. Only way you can stop doing that, only way I could stop paying taxes if I get dual citizenship. So if I'm a citizen of Ukraine and America, or I'm a citizen of Europe or something like that. You know what I mean? So, and there's ways to do it. I've been looking up on it, but I don't mind paying taxes. You know what I mean? I love being an American citizen. I wouldn't want to change it for anything in the world. Because, you know, if anything goes crazy anywhere in the world, I know I got one of the best homes to go to, and I'm just going. You know what I mean? But other than that, I like exploring. I like being adventurous. You know what I mean? I remember the last 3 times I went back to New York, I was like, yo, this is so fucking boring. This is so fucking boring. Like, there's no danger that much. It's so fucking boring. I remember walking around with my friends, all the chicks are ugly and shit. I was like, yo, it's so fucking boring here. No one's staring at me, trying to kill me. Like, what do I do? What are we supposed to do? And I remember, I know I told this before, but there was this one time, it was me and it was like 5 of my friends, all guys. We walked past some drunk dude who's like my size, or maybe my size before I started working out, whatever, regular looking dude. And he starts talking shit to us. And my friends just got so fired up, like, what? You fucking talk. And they went crazy. I'm like, yo, it's one guy who's drunk. What are you guys so excited about? No, he talking shit, you think he tough? I'm like, yo, what the fuck? That's not danger. You think that's danger? One drunk guy with no weapon, just sitting there talking shit, whatever, drunk. I'm like, dude, just keep walking. I would have respected, I guess I've been in Russia and Ukraine too long. I would have respected more if one guy just slapped them and then we just kept walking. That would have been normal to me. But the 5 guys yelling at the one guy, I was like, I'm not used to this. I remember seeing those kind of things when I was younger, and I'm like, I'm not used to this shit. Is it really that serious with this one guy? You know what I mean? But what's interesting is me doing the kind of traveling I do. And traveling, I guess I could say, when people ask me, what do I travel for, what do I do, whatever, by profession, I could say YouTuber. You know, I'm still in Screen Actors Guild, but I'm an actor and a YouTuber, both by profession. Both train me to deal with the other side better. So basically, when I came to Russia, and everyone was like, oh my god, how can you go around Russia, all this stuff, so many people don't like you, aren't you scared, and all that stuff? I'm like, for one, there's not many guns in Russia. They have these fucking dramatic guns everywhere. There's not that many real guns, you know what I mean? So one, it's not that scary. 2, and where I'm from, we were trained to not be scared of white people. So white people, not trying to be racist, but usually they don't intimidate me. It's just how it is. You know what I mean? So that's like trained from Brooklyn and shit. And I seen people walk around with shotguns and handguns and big ass pit bulls, and that shit is normal. But then you come out here and people just talk shit on a computer, but they don't see you. It's like, really? You know what I mean? So it trained me for that. Now, what Russia trained me to help prepare me for go back to New York was that in Russia, people don't yell at each other that much. There's not so much, yeah, this and that. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen right there. It's going to take maybe 25 seconds of communicating between the 2 guys, and they're just going to start fighting. It's much faster. You know what I mean? They don't believe in the whole yelling and making a show thing. Not the men, at least. They don't want to yell and make a show. I guess only people do that are the babushki. The grandmothers, you know what I mean? Maybe they'll fight each other sometimes, but they can yell forever, because I've been yelled at by like 20 babushkis since I've been here, for reasons I didn't even do anything, you know what I mean? But so I guess both trained me for the other side, and the thing is, in Russia, if there's a tense situation, odds are something's going to happen without that much arguing. So in America, you can argue with people, call your friends, and the argument will last so long, the fight won't happen until your friends get there, like 20 minutes later. I'm not exaggerating. That's how long they can fucking argue in America and yell at each other. You have time to call your friends, and sometimes when you're arguing, you tell them, yo, I'm gonna call my niggas. They say, call them, we'll wait. and they will argue until the other guys get there, then start fighting. It's unbelievable. It's like New York is one of the places where there's no time for anything except for arguing. So yeah, that's just just different worlds, man, different worlds. And I guess that's basically it, people. Let me know what you think. I am out. Later. Oh wait, but I am fucking scared of the shit going on in Donetsk and Lugansk region. There's a lot of guns and tanks. If that shit comes over here, I'm gone. Now I'm out.